Okay, I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself sitting in a dark car late at night, midnight. The only light is from your phone, and you're listening to this soft voice message from someone just begging you not to give up on them.
But here's the catch. Just a few days ago, this exact same person looked at you with these ice-cold eyes and told you that you were completely worthless.
So, your hand is hovering over the delete button. But strangely enough, you feel this sense of relief listening to it again. You have to ask yourself, why can't I just walk away? Why is this so hard? Well, the answer isn't because you're weak, it's because your brain is being hijacked.
To really get how this hijacking works, let's talk about a real-world example. We're going to call her Rhea.
See, Rhea is an absolute powerhouse of a lawyer. She's tough, she's successful, always in total control when she's in the courtroom. But when she gets home, it's a totally different story. She feels constantly outnumbered, anxious, like she's losing her grip on who she even is.
Every single time Rhea tries to sort out a problem with her partner, somehow a third person gets dragged into the argument. You know, an ex who is supposedly more understanding, or his disapproving mother, or, and this is the really crazy part, even her own friends. It's this masterful trick that pulls her focus away from the real issue and traps her in this artificial state of jealousy and competition.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How can this brilliant lawyer, who wins these incredibly complex cases for a living, not win a simple argument at home? And more importantly, why can't she just leave?
The answer, it turns out, isn't just in psychology, it's in our biology. This isn't just some mind game, it's a very real trap being built at a neurochemical level.
This whole phenomenon has a name. It's called trauma bonding. And it's not just a feeling, it's a powerful neurobiological attachment. It gets formed by these endless cycles of abuse, followed by just enough unpredictable kindness to keep you hooked. I want to be really clear about this. This is like a biological hostage situation. It is not a character flaw.
So how does this bond get created? Well, it's a pretty potent neurochemical cocktail. First, those unpredictable moments of affection. They release a massive surge of dopamine. This creates a biological craving that's just like playing a slot machine. At the very same time, the abuse floods your body with the stress hormone cortisol, which basically locks your nervous system into survival mode. And then, when you finally have a moment of reconciliation, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, tragically linking you even closer to the very source of all your pain.
And the long-term cost of all this? It's physical. I'm talking about this toxic stress literally changing the architecture of your brain. Your amygdala, that's your brain's threat detector, it gets enlarged and hyperreactive. That's where the chronic anxiety and panic attacks come from. Your hippocampus, your memory center, it actually shrinks. And the prefrontal cortex, the part you need for clear thinking, its activity goes way down. So you see, you're not failing to think clearly. Your nervous system is under biological siege.
Okay, so we've got the biological trap. Now, let's pull back the curtain on the psychological warfare that's used to set that trap in the first place.
The devastating tactic we saw with Rhea is called narcissistic triangulation. This is when a narcissist deliberately brings a third person into the dynamic. Now, this isn't some accident or misunderstanding. It's a calculated strategy. The whole point is to create jealousy, to gain leverage, and to feed on the narcissistic supply they get from your panic.
And the goals here are crystal clear and just incredibly destructive. Triangulation is designed to make you feel insecure, to distract you from their own bad behavior, and to make you question your own reality. It keeps them in a position of power, and it feeds their constant need for attention and validation, all at your expense.
So, why on earth would somebody do this? Well, it's often rooted in a defense mechanism called splitting. Basically, they can't see people in shades of gray. You're either all good, or the second you challenge them, you become all bad. So they need to bring in that third party to be the new all-good person, which just reinforces their twisted view that you're the problem.
But this psychological war, it rarely stays one-on-one. To maintain control, the manipulator has to expand their reach. They have to recruit an army to go fight on their behalf.
And this leads us to the idea of flying monkeys. Yeah, really. If you've ever seen The Wizard of Oz, you remember how terrifying the Wicked Witch's little enforcers were, right? Well, in psychology, that term now describes the people that a narcissist recruits to do their dirty work for them.
What this really is abuse by proxy. It's a deliberate campaign to contaminate your entire social network.
The narcissist turns your own friends, your own family, into their messengers and their enablers. And all of a sudden, you're not just isolated. Your whole support system has been turned against you. It's designed to shatter your reality.
And you'll notice these recruits often fall into a few predictable types. You've got the well-meaning enabler who actually thinks they're helping by pleading the narcissist's case. Then there's the person who's just acting out of self-preservation. They're terrified of being the next target. And sometimes you even get the co-narcissist who just jumps at the chance to join in on the attack because they thrive on all the drama.
So, with all of this biological and psychological warfare being waged against you, how do you even begin to fight back? Well, it all starts with reclaiming your reality. And if you only take away one thing from all of this, please let it be this. The confusion and the paralysis that you feel, they are not signs of weakness. In fact, what we often see is that intelligent, successful, and deeply empathetic people are the primary targets, because those very strengths are the ones that can be twisted and exploited to serve a narcissist's ego.
Their behavior was never, ever a reflection of your worth. It has always been a reflection of their own internal fragility. Making that distinction is absolutely critical on the path to healing.
And just remember this simple truth. A true, healthy relationship never needs a third person to be brought in as a weapon for competition or for control. Healthy connections are built on direct communication, not on deflection.
You know, the most courageous step you can possibly take is to realize that you are in a game where the rules were specifically designed for you to lose, and the only winning move is to stop playing.
Reclaiming your own mind begins with a single choice. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what game will you stop playing today?